it takes more than just doing something or paying for something to build relationships. And that's what I want to talk about in relationship marketing, especially a lot of the fathers out there sometimes get real busy and go, well, I'll write a check, and that will cover it. But most important in business.
Well, I tell you what, so there's a couple of things. We need to unpack this a little bit. There's a lot of layers to this onion. If just paying for something, let's address that first. If just paying for something increased your business, everybody's business would be increased. Right. Because we've joined, and nothing I say is detriment to these organizations. I love chambers of commerce, small business centers, BNI groups. I love them. I think you should participate. But if just joining a BNI group got you business, we'd be the most successful country in the world to an nth degree, because it's such a powerful, successful organization. So the organization is good. And if it's just joining a chamber of commerce and paying the money and maybe showing up sometimes grew your business, but folks know that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. Most people that will look at this, most people that are in business either have recently started a business and they're starting a network and going to leads group and showing up and buying coffee or buying somebody else coffee or taking somebody to lunch or whatever, paying, right? But they know they're not walking away out of those meetings and out of that chamber thing and out of that BNI group or whatever with lots of business just by doing that. We also know that when we're trying to do business with people, that we really need to know a lot more about the person we're trying to, let's say as a referral partner, a strategic partner, the relationships we have, not with our customers, but with the people that are going to help us grow our business and we're going to help them grow their business. Those people, those real important, like you showed in that mind map, that area where we're really trying to make relationships with people who can help us and we can help. In that area, the whole thing about relationship marketing, that's what you titled it that way, is we have to have a relationship. And anybody that knows that if you pay for a relationship, you probably don't have maybe that's not a girlfriend. Maybe that's not anybody you want to marry, right? Mm-hmm. If you're paying for it, there's not an equal thing. And then there's this thing about quid pro quo, that if I do something for you, you will do something for me. So to unwrap it, we had can you make good business by paying for things? And can you do the other thing by just kind of doing something? I tell you what, I'll show up and I'll help you with these things. We find that doesn't last. Mm-hmm. Pat and Martin don't have to tell anybody that. That does not last. Why doesn't it last? Because we have such low attention spans these days. Most people would have liked this video to be about 7-10 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. We have such low attention spans. There's so much noise. There's so many digital ads. There's so many things vying for our attention. There's so many things coming in our email, so many things coming in these areas, that the bad side is really hard to get your message out. The other thing is that's a cornucopia of opportunity because of all those things. If you make good relationships with good people, so can you just buy your way into success? I believe that the person who wins the most business does have to spend a lot of money to acquire a customer. Yes, but most of the people that are going to be watching this, they don't have those budgets. Mm-hmm. They don't have the everlasting gobstopper budget that can just be there everywhere, no matter where somebody is. So they have to be present in their presences, Facebook Live like you're doing right now, and like a lot of other people do, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you are, you have to be present there and sharing value. But I tell you what, if you'll just try and find somebody, and you cover it in the training, where they serve the same people as you, either your product or their product is a bolt-on, an add-on, a value add to what they do, or what you do is really centered around what they do, or it's very complementary of what they do. A realtor and a painter and a landscaper and a remodeler and a carpet cleaner and an HVAC guy, those are so synergistic that they're all in the pipeline of trying to serve homeowners, right? Now, do I think me as a realtor, I can just buy my way into painters and remodelers and contractors and carpet layers and whatever? No. Can I just give them a little bit of business and and I know it'll come back to me? Usually no, and we know these things don't work. So what do? We have to really decide who exactly can be our strategic and referral partner. And what can we bring them besides time and money? What can we bring them that actually really connects them with us as a strategic partner, as a true referral partner? And those things usually have to do with, how can I bring them business? How can I be a value add to them? How can I be very important to them? How can I have a relationship with them where they know I've got their back? And when I go in like a fireman, when I go in the building, they go with me. and when I come out, everybody comes out? How can I do those kinds of things? And everything I just said, I don't know how I would put money or an exchange of stuff into making that work. But I do know most relationships that anybody has, the relationship you and I have, never had anything to do with me doing something for you or you doing something for me or me giving you money. Although, Martin, I can give you my address. You can send me a check anytime. Okay? We do cash those. But does that make sense? I mean, you add,
Yeah, it does.
add to that.
It brings up several other things, is the importance of talking about the weather, the importance of engaging on non-critical issues, the importance of understanding that some of building relationships is slowing down so we allow our humanness to pick up the nonverbal clues of each other. You know, it might have been back as animals, they sniffed each other or something, but it's really that slowing down in this overly driven world enough to allow a connection to occur is an important piece.
Well, exactly, because, you know, if we think about some of this stuff, it actually comes down to certain really simple words. And one that just hit my mind when you're care.
Yeah.
Do we care? You know, care is not a complicated word. You know what I mean? It's really a simple word. And what it means is that, but it's really hard to show that you care somebody if you're really quick, if it's money, it's those kind of things. One of the things while we were getting ready for this Facebook Live and you were getting things prepped is you asked me about my bees. Yeah. Now, it has nothing to do with relationship marketing, but or anything we're talking about right now, but it's kind of important to me. You know what I mean? And not everybody knows that. And usually the people who know that are somebody that cares about me and cares that I care about that. So you made me feel good when you just said, Pat, how are your bees? You get to spend the time with them, etc. So how do you know about my bees? Well, because we have a relationship where I would tell you about that. How do you know the names of my children? How do you know that I'm looking at getting a boat? Another thing we talked about. My point is the level in which if we don't know things about somebody, you know, if we wouldn't bring somebody over to our barbecue or go to their barbecue, you know what I mean? Or go and do something with families, we're probably not going to be good strategic partners. Does that mean you have to be personal with it? No, you can actually have good business relationships with people that are really just business relationships. But in the small local business space, that's usually not what happens. It usually is, you know, the person, they know you and you know something about them. And you do those kind of things. So I think when we get to the point where we actually care about somebody else's business, not what their business can do for me, but we care about their business, what we can do for them, knowing that the law of reciprocity, it's not, again, not quid pro quo, it's not a connected dot. But if I do something good for Martin in his business, there's a chance that good comes to me. I'm not talking woo-woo stuff. I'm talking that there is this law of reciprocity. The more we care and do things for those people that we're connected to, the more they will care and want to do things for us. And no amount of money, I mean, Martin, if it was about money, two things about money. There's an expectation for it to go down, right? Or an expectation for it to go up. But rarely does money stand stable, right? So if I start paying you for leads and you start sending me leads, if you send me a lot of leads, you'll probably want more money. If you send me a little bit of leads, I'll probably not want to pay you as much money. But if you and I are doing great business and I can see with my relationship with you that my business is growing, that it's good, that just your knowledge and your ability to help me on certain other areas helps me, every day I get up and I go, or sometime during the week, I'm thinking about you and your business and those opportunities that come up that my attention span's also limited. But those opportunities come up, I'd say, this person really should talk to Martin about talking to their sales force about relationship marketing and what they can really do in order to create real, sustainable, real relationships that do hit the bottom line kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One more thing I want to mention is the importance of not backing away from conflicts, because I really believe that some of the best relationships occurred where a problem occurred. And then instead of backing away, which might be the automatic response, I stayed in the game to test the water, work it out, and see what occurred.
My thinking on that is we're best known, our character is best known by when things go bad, what do we do? You know, when things go bad, what do we do? Do we just leave? Do we stop calling? Do we stop doing anything? Okay. I used to, when I had a web kind of business and we developed websites and that kind of thing, and people would say, Pat, I want you to put testimonials on my page. And I would say, yep, I can do that, but you got to give me a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give me one where it didn't turn out really well. I mean, you messed up. And the person is saying, Martin, I hired Martin to help me with training. He was really late for the first time there. And then he didn't do this, and it ended up doing whatever. But then it has to have this next story element to it. However, here's what he did. He said he would do another one. This is what he did. So this is what went wrong, and this is what we did, and what he did about it. So I always think that we want those kind of situations, because when you do that, I had a person that I used to have a computer company. Somebody brought their computer in on a Friday. They needed it over the weekend. Me and my guys, I'll just say me. I was not able to, in my organization, satisfy them. I called them at the end of Friday and said, listen, we just don't have the part in. We can't fix your computer. He said, Pat, I need that tomorrow. I need to be working tomorrow on that stuff. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I called somebody that's a friend of mine that has a shop. He has the part. I'm driving over there now. Now, I live 90 miles away in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I said, I'm getting that part. I'm staying here. I'm staying here tonight. I will drop this thing off at your house in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
He said, what? Because he was mad at me. He was saying all kinds of things on the phone.
Right.
Phone does make people a little bit more. It's like a phone in a big car makes people a little more, brave in what they will say to people. But I did all that. I brought him the computer. He said, Pat, well, okay, this is great. How much do I owe you? I said, no, you don't owe me anything. You just help my organization get better.
Mm-hmm.
We won't let this happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make sure when we actually set the expectation, I shouldn't have told you I could do this if I didn't know I should do that. Shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
I brought him a couple of, there was a nice shop that had, not muffins, they're those scones. Man, scones, gotta like scones. Brought him some scones, said, no, it's good. Here's the thing. He actually ran some things for the city and county of Denver, okay? He opened up all kinds of departments with the city and county of Denver for my shop because I had screwed up but made it right. He knew he could trust me from now on, that no matter what, when it went well, it was good, but if it went bad, it was good. Now, I don't mean to say that, I think I just put the spotlight on me too much, and I apologize for anybody watching, but I was just using an example of what I know. And I know that if something goes bad, that's the time to actually muscle up. That's the time to actually get in there and make sure it goes right, to communicate with people when things aren't going well. Because in my mind, that's where character really lives. And that's when you really make a real relationship and connection with people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. I think it's a great story. And I want to reiterate the simple fact of we're building strategic alliance. We're building customers we want to be with. This is not about wasting time with just anyone. This is, if you're following this whole training program and doing it correctly, it's actually getting your business so you enjoy your customers, you're making more money, and you'd like to spend time with them, including your strategic partners.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, Mark, because here's the thing. When you have a small business, and let's say it's a small local business or whatever, and let's just assume you are really good at what you do, that the product or service that you exchange for value, somebody paying you exchange for value, is worthy of being in the market. More people should know about it. You do a great job. And if you do that, the reason you have this small business is you want some kind of level of control.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wouldn't you like to have fun doing it? Wouldn't you like to be happy? Wouldn't you like to, kind of to the degree you can, make your own hours and have your own schedule and work with who you want to work with? Both the clients you want to work with and the strategic partners you want to work with, and those kind of things. Well, if you do, we got to quit saying it's all about the relationship, but we not spend any time really on building relationship marketing and the things you really need to do. Business is, people say, almost like cliche-ish, well, business is about relationships. Okay, what are you doing with regards to enriching and improving relationships? Well, I don't really have time for that. I'm marketing, I'm on Facebook, I'm doing ads, I'm doing that. No, slow down, because here's the thing. Most businesses need 100 or less customers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and most folks need 12 or less referral partners. Now, if you have 100 customers you've done work with, and that's what you're trying to do, and you just get your top 100, your dream 100, whatever it is, and you do a good job with them, and you actually do a good job that your value exchange, what you do, product or service, is equal to money you charge or great value, they will bring you your next client, and they will bring you your next client. And this is actually a perpetual motion machine.
Mm-hmm.
You do advertising on Facebook, and I do that, and LinkedIn and everywhere else. And we do advertising everywhere. But if you do that, go ahead and do that and then stop.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if you do that, everybody else that's advertising on Facebook is increasing the auction of Facebook. Some people remember AdWords were like 5 cents. You can't get an AdWord click for 5 cents unless you're using a word that nobody's even interested in, you know? So all those auctions, all those things that are competing for our time in getting in front of our ideal prospect or customer, those are all increasing. And quite frankly, the ability to do that is being taken away from the small business owner, because the bigger companies are just coming in and buying all the ad space inventory on AdWords and LinkedIn and Facebook. So where can we actually compete? So relationships actually isn't just about have good relationship. It's where we compete and win against big companies. It's where we can compete and win against our local competitors, our regional competitors, and certainly our national competitors, because they cannot care. They can't to the degree in which we can. So when we think about this, it's easy, it's less money, we don't have to pay money, but it's just the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the areas where we can own that. And we can own a great realtor, can have a great network of, carpet, folks and HVAC guys and plumbers and handyman and whatever, and own a piece of their market, through the relationships that those folks have and the good business they do. So I guess what I'm passionate about is if you get relationship marketing, mm-hmm. and that is a sequence and a series of steps, strategies, tactics, it isn't quid pro quo. And it's structured word of mouth, right? Everybody says word of mouth is the best. Okay, what are you doing to do word of mouth? Mm-hmm. What are you actively doing? And
right.
It's got to be something more about, I do a good job.
Yeah.
Or I'm the friendly realtor or whatever. Right. You got to actually be doing things, follow up, et cetera. So, I really think that, the folks that actually get this relationship marketing, however they do it, BNI does a good job. Chambers do a good job. Everybody does a good job, but very few of them actually connect all the dots of what you need to be doing in order to have a real a marketing system rather than just talking about relationships.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Pat. And I want to also thank Bill Davis with the 100 Days of Abundance program he has, because he was the one that refreshed this topic for me. And maybe we'll get him on for one of the lives as well.
Bill Davis is just brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
I'll be real quick. I used to live out. I met you in North Carolina. I was out in North Carolina. Okay, and I met Bill at the same time. And a little just commercial for Bill Davis because I just love the guy and I think he's brilliant. I never found anybody. We had 4,900 and some odd people in our business network. It was a very active business network, one of the most active in the country. I never met anybody that had gone through Bill Davis's 100 Days of Abundance that shortly thereafter, their business didn't improve and measurably improve.
Yeah.
So one of the only things I saw somebody do that almost, I would actually start seeking out somebody to say, how did that work? To a person, it actually increased their business. So if this came from Bill, I can see this. I don't think he's a weeble. He's so, he's so awesome. So, all right, man. Hey, is this good?
Yeah, this is great. I want to thank all that watch it today and in the future, and as well as we've got some links below. You'll find this that you'll find useful to learn more about both the online training and other forms of the relationship marketing 3, the ground game that we have to offer. So thanks very much.
Perfect. Thanks for anybody's time.